Hi all, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about behavioral design patterns. This is new design patterns. I have already covered creational and structural design patterns. If you miss those videos, I'll put the link in description. So please go and watch. In the behavioral design patterns, the first one is chain of responsibility design pattern. So before talking about chain of responsibility design pattern, let's see how this we can simulate in the real world. Let's say we are almost 10 friends are there. Let's say you and your friends are playing a game and there are some secret code where you and that particular person knows. All people are in row. Let's say you are the first person and let's say your friend is an eighth person. So every person has secret codes, but when you tell to your secret code to the other person who is not actually owning the secret code, he maybe not know, but what he can do, he can simply ask the next person whether this is your secret code. If the person don't know, right, what the person will do, the person will ask the next person whether this is your secret code. So this chain will keep on continue till the exact person who exactly matches the secret code. So this is small example which I has taken. When you are actually row, when you are at the first position, your friend is at ninth position. So only way is to communicate with your friend is basically you need to tell your secret code to the second person, and second person will ask third person will ask fourth person, and finally whenever eighth person will ask ninth person knows, oh, yeah, this is my secret code. I need to respond, right? So and ninth person will reply to eighth, and eighth person will reply to seventh, and keep on till we get the exact answer to the first person. So let's see how this works with some diagrams. So we have around 10 people are there, so each people should ask next people so until and also exactly in a sequential way we should get the data. Now let's see the standard definition of this design pattern. So chain of responsibility is a behavioral design pattern that lets you pass request along a chain of handlers. Upon receiving a request, each handler decides either to process the request or to pass it to the next handler in a chain. This is exactly what we just discussed, right? The chain of responsibility relies on transforming particular behavior into standalone objects called handlers. So every person here we call it as a handler. So either he will take the job or he will pass the job to the next person. So what are the main advantages of chain of responsibility design pattern? The first is it will reduce the coupling, and it added flexibility in assigning responsibilities to the objects. And also here advantage is recipient is not guaranteed. We don't even know the particular person is there at which position. So whoever acts as a handlers, the job is to either take or passing to the next processor. So ultimately the particular processor who is exactly needs to take the particular job will reply. So we can also check disadvantage also, because this is not a mostly used principle across the world, because it has its own disadvantage. So because let's say there is some while transferring, right, let's say your friend, let's say you all are standing on hot weather. Suddenly let's say fifth person got fainted, so fourth person don't even know whom to call. So it will break the chain, right? So each the fifth one should be a responsible person, but because of this service down, the chain got break. So and also it create deep stack traces whenever suppose it sends to the wrong person. So it might happen it might keep on recursively happen, and it will affect the performance also. It can lead to duplicate code across processors, increasing maintenance. So this is how generally look like. So handler is basically interface. Interface implements by each concrete handler. Here we are saying as each person. So let's say we are taking as a person who is a good person, and all the persons who are basically extends from the good person. So just similar to kind of in the real world in Java, at least there are two files are there, two applications which are using chain of responsibility principle. One is do filter, and second thing is logger. In the logger we know, right, debugging, warning, info. That is exactly how chain of responsibility will work. Now let's talk about I have created two examples. One is the ATM, second thing is authentication example. Let's first start with ATM example, then we can see authentication example. So imagine let's say you came to ATM So to draw the money, how you will draw the money? Let's say when you enter your card, so it will ask the how much amount you want to take the rate. Let's say you mention, let's say 5,555. Generally, it won't give you. First, it will ask like please enter the denomination of like 2000s, hundreds, or like 500s. Okay, you entered like let's say 5,000. Then it won't give the 5,000 money, right? Or it first it will give how many 2000s can be given for this particular 5,000. Then it will check how many 500s can be given. Then it will check how many hundreds can be given. So it's like chain of responsibility. First validation will happen. Then it is like then validation is doing it done the job. It will checks like it is like denomination of 2000, 5000 or 100. After it is doing the job, it will hand over to 2000. So 2000 will do the job, it will hand over to 500. 500 will do the job, it will hand over to 100. So at last we'll get the reply to the main response. This is how ATM thing work, right? Like, so first there is like validation phase is there, and from validation phase after validation there is like 2000 denominations. From 2000 denominations it's like 500, and last at 500 to 100. So this is like this is how like this thing will work like in ATM, like so it will happen everything in a sequential way. Let's see the example. I think you'll get more idea. Let's see, we have like a dollar dispenser is a interface. It's basically called as handler. So it has like a class called it has a composition class called dollar dispenser, and it is also acting as a constructor, because this dollar dispenser is basically implemented by other classes also, right? Like validated dollar dispenser, $100 dispenser, $500 dispenser, and $2,000 dispenser. Because then only the chain is basically happen. Like if each concrete handler will basically implements the from handler, then first concrete handler basically checks if it is not there, if it is not part of his job, it will transfer the whatever constructor argument is there, right? It will transfer to the next person. So that's why here it's like basically dollar dispenser is the main handler, like. So its job is like it has like one abstract function called dispense. So basically it will check it is passing the currency as an argument. So currency has basically amount, that's it. So first let's see validate dollar dispenser. It will check if it is percentage 100 is 0 or not. If it is 0, it will basically hand over this particular job to the next chain, that is 2000. If it is not 0, right, it straight away it will here on it will fail. It will say please enter the amount. Now let's see like 2000. In 2000, if it is greater than equals to 2000, it will calculate the amount till 2000. If remainder is non-zero, it will transfer to the next person, that is nothing but a 500. Similarly, it will check till 500, and if remainder is still non-zero, it will check for it will ask to 100 to do the job. Here 100 is there, it will check for 100. If it is non-zero, it will ask the next person to do the job. Here basically next person won't be there, because 100 is the last one. Like I have like copied read all these things, so I forgot to change maybe. But here at last, after this particular thing is completed, the remainder will be 0 and everything is printed. Like if you go to main program, first is like in the first chain, the root chain is basically validate dollar dispenser, and the next in the line is 2000, and the next in the line is 5000, next in the line is 1000. At last it is null, there is nothing was there. Let's say you are executing this program. When you execute this program, you will get like two 2000 notes, 3 500 notes, and 100 note. This is for first one. So successfully our we are basically taken money from ATM. Like let's say here I am giving like 5620. Here is asking to please enter the amount in like 2500 and 100 denominations, which means like in the validated dollar denomination itself it got failed. Like, so this is the one best example when it comes to chain of responsibility principle. I'll explain like in a more advanced way, like when it comes to authentication. So here also there is one handler should be there, that is like authentication processor. It will take one constructor, that is like authentication itself, and it has only one public available function called is authorized. It will check like whether, okay, this authentication processor has like different concrete handlers, right? So let's see the concrete handlers. It's like first auth, either the authentication happening through auth, or it's happening to username based, or it's happening to token based. If it is auth, it will check like whether the authentication provider is instance of this auth or not. If it is instance, this is the correct processor to do the job. It will return the true. If it is not, it will check that next process is not null or not. If it is not null, it will hand out job to the next processor. Maybe in the next processor, it might be possible like username password might be there. If it is null, that is the dead end, right? We're simply returning the false. Simple. It is the same way, same code for username also. Only difference is like instance of is like username password, and for token based also it's same. Instance is like token based processor. So if you see the main program, so I have like I was like in the chain. The first is like username, and next is like auth processor. At last it's null. So I was checking. First, I want to authorize with the auth processor. So I was checking with the auth processor. Can I basically authenticate with auth processor or not? In this chain, auth processor is present. We are expecting this to be true. Here also in this chain, now username password is present. We are expecting this to be true. But here in this case, I am trying to authenticate with token based processor. But here in the chain, token based processor is not there. So here it should be failed. So when you execute the program, right? So I'm expecting true, true, false. So if you see true, true, false. If you want to debug the code, just simply debug, because to get even more idea how exactly this thing is working like. So first it is calling this one. Now is authorized function is there. So in the is authorized function, the first one is like basically username, right? It will go to username based processor. Again it will check, okay, I'm not username based processor, I'm expecting auth. So it will hand out the job to the next. In the next, it is basically in the main, it is like OAuth is there. So that's why it went to OAuth. Now it is checking instance is written true. So we are returning, so the job is done. Similarly, username password, job is done. Here in the token based password, it is not instance of username. So I'm handovering to the OAuth. Here also it is not OAuth, I'm handling the next processor. Here next processor is basically null. That's why it will become fail. It will return the false. So that's why the output will basically look like true, true, false. Like, so this is like very simple example and also very simple way of understanding what exactly chain of responsibility design pattern. I hope you got what exactly chain of responsibility design pattern. If you have any doubts, please feel to write your doubts in the comment section. I will try to reply for every person. So I think that's it for today's tutorial. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and share to your friends who are actually learning design patterns. For them it will be even more helpful. So we'll soon meet in the next video, that is basically command design pattern. For now, bye bye.